livestream.travel and eTurboNews. I'm joining you from Honolulu, Hawaii, and we're going over to Africa. We're going to Nigeria. And good morning, good afternoon. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, reporting for livestream.travel and eTurboNews. I'm joining you from Honolulu, Hawaii, and we're going over to Africa. We're going to Nigeria, and we're meeting Abigail, and Abigail is the ambassador for the African Tourism Board in Nigeria, and she's involved in a lot of other things. We'll be talking about the Africa Tourism Day, what is coming up, and everyone is actually invited to participate. Good evening, Abigail. Yeah, good evening it is in Africa, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes, you're right. Yes, it's evening here. It's night actually here. I greet everyone. Good day to the entire world, the entire everywhere, all the continents. I say my greetings to everyone, all the way from Nigeria. Yes, and we've got wonderful news to break to everyone. We're celebrating Africa Tourism Day on the 26th of November. That's Thursday. And we want to use this opportunity to invite everyone. But before then, let me tell you a bit about myself. My name is Abigail Adeshino Olagbaye. I'm Nigerian. I am a tourism practitioner, a destination development, a destination management professional. I've been in tourism, in the tourism industry, been a player since 2005. That's 15 years. And of course, I've been running my company for the past 5 years. And we've had very eventful journey since we started in the tourism industry. Way back in 2005, when I had the privilege to be the national title holder as Miss Tourism Nigeria. It gave me the opportunity to actually see the potentials in the tourism industry, and it made me just make up my mind that yes, this is where I want to be. This is home for me. This is my passion. Yeah. So, and since then I've never looked back, and I have no regrets. So that takes me to the issue at hand, our big celebration. You'd agree with me that before now, yes, we've been having celebrations, we've been having events, we've been having tourism events, which all of them are beautiful, all of them are grand, all of them are exciting, all of them are enchanting, and so nice. Yeah, but we haven't had that singular event that brings all of us together as Africans in the continent, and Africans in diaspora, celebrating our beautiful continent, celebrating our energetic people, our intelligent people, celebrating, our assets, our resources as a people, and you'd agree with me that Africa cannot be second-rated or despised when it comes to the richness of the continent, the beauty of the continent. Think about our assorted wildlife. Think about our enchanting and elegant mountains and hills and ever-flowing rivers and streams. And the list goes on. Our birds sanctuaries, our gorilla parks and theme parks, and all the beautiful products we have when it comes to tourism. So we've never had a single day or single moment or single time that we all come together with one voice saying, look, we need to look at this industry that is very important to us, that creates jobs for us, that has impacted the continent positively, that has empowered the women, our young people, that has created opportunities for so many African economies. So we've never had such a moment, and so that is what that was what brought about Africa Tourism Day. Yes, so It's the gathering. It's a gathering of all Africans at home, abroad, wherever you are. So far, you're an African and friends of Africa as well. Love Africa. Travel to Africa. You want to do business in Africa. Any of the 65 countries, what have you? Just join us on the 26th of November. The coming Thursday by 9 a.m. West African time. So you can just fix the time, whatever zone you are, whatever region you are, you know what the time is. But it is 9 a.m. West African time, and for a couple of hours, we're going to be enjoying, the beautiful offerings of our continent, the beautiful products, our cultures, our rich history, what sets us apart as a people, our hairdos, fashion, our arts, our food, our music, our different various dances and dance steps, so many things I can't begin to tell you. Just I don't want to let everything out of the bag. So you just have to make it a date and be there.
And
Thank you.
you can easily sign up, Abigail, because you established a very impressive website, I have to say. It's called africatourismday.org. Not African,
Precisely.
Africa with no N.
Not African.
Tourism,
It doesn't have an N. Yes, just
no N.
africatourismday.org. Yes.
You find everything, and you can sign up and be part of this celebration. What coincides with our Thanksgiving Day in the United States. So you can have a turkey and you can look at Africa at the same time. And as you rightly say, Africa is so much more than just an area in the world. It's a continent with 54 countries, you said. These are the
second largest continent and second most populous continent in the world.
Well, 54 countries, 54 different cultures, climates, and there's so much to see in Africa.
Landscapes, beautiful, breathtaking landscapes. Yeah, all through the continent.
Yeah, and the little bit I've seen traveling through Africa, I can definitely confirm this. I mean, when you go to Egypt or Tunisia, Morocco, the Mediterranean countries, and the Arab countries, so much different from maybe Mali, Timbuktu. I went to Timbuktu. I know it's not great right now, but it was a fascinating experience. Mopti in Mali. I've seen it so colorful. I've been to Nigeria, to Abuja, and I still remember. You guys must have the best clothing and fashion anywhere in the world. It's so picturesque, and then you keep on going down south and experience the delta in Botswana. You see Zambia, Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe and Zambia, and South Africa, Cape Town. So it's just breathtaking. And then of course you have island nations like the Seychelles, like the Indian Ocean, and Madagascar, and even we determined, what I found interesting, St. Helena should really be part of Africa, and they consider themselves, because the only flights into St. Helena, this British territory in the middle of the Atlantic, are from South Africa. So it's definitely a continent that is now slowly coming together. And I have a feeling with unfortunate situation with Corona, the positive part of Corona is that people are coming together. They're coming together on Zoom and other platforms.
That's very true. That's very true. People are, because the only way to survive this tough time is to, collaborate, is to, support one another, come together, join efforts, join, resources, and form a formidable defense against what is afflicting everybody. That is a pandemic. So you're very correct that you find that, yes, Africa is slowly coming together, and we really need to. That's what the pandemic has done. It has forced us to
Then have died
look
during the
inwards
entire
and
pandemic so far.
look beside us. That who's that beside me? How can you help me? Or how can I help you? So it has helped us to reach out to the other person, reach out to the other country, reach out to the other community. So yeah, that's what it has done.
And it's so easy these days because on the virtual platform, you can literally talk to anyone, any place in the world, as long as you have internet access. What makes this world being so connected. Just last night, I talked to the head of
Sharks may seem scary to most people, but to Stephanie Brendel, these
don't know a thing about Liberia. I learned so much, and in talking to each other, we will get to know each other. We all know we're just humans. We're all fear the virus. We have a common enemy now. We don't have to.
mysterious creatures don't faze her because she has spent over 20 years diving with sharks.
When I've had so much time in the water with them, observing how they react, they're very individual. You start recognizing individuals. They have a certain character. Some are braver, some are more timid.
Brendel is also known for conservation work, leading the nonprofit Shark Allies that's pushed over a dozen states to ban shark fin trading. But now she's sounding the alarm that in the global race to find a COVID-19 vaccine, sharks might have to pay the price because of their squalene, an oil often harvested from a shark's liver.
We were looking into swallowing the cosmetics, and we had time to spend on research and digging deeper into that issue because we had been working on the shark fin issue for years. And while looking at the cosmetics issue, we discovered that squalene is also used in vaccines.
Brendel says the two leading vaccines in the U.S., made by Pfizer and Moderna, do not use squalene, but at least 5 vaccine makers in other countries do. The substance acts as an adjuvant, boosting the body's response to vaccines.
It is actually something that we want. We just want to make sure that it is taken from a sustainable resource and that
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, reporting for livestream.travel and eTurboNews.
During the news conference in Denver. That briefing covering a wide range of COVID-related topics. KRDO News Channel 13 Scott Harrison is live in Colorado Springs tonight to break it all down for us. Scott?
Well, Lauren and Heather, we learned from today's briefing that only widespread compliance of wearing masks, social distancing, avoiding travel, and having smaller Thanksgiving celebrations will save lives. And officials
to accept that more people could die from the COVID-19 virus over the next month than have died during the entire pandemic so far. But the state's pandemic expert confirmed that earlier today during the governor's news conference in Denver. That briefing covering a wide range of COVID-related topics. KRDO News Channel 13 Scott Harrison is live in Colorado Springs tonight to break it all down for us. Scott?
Well, Lauren and Heather, we learned from today's briefing that only widespread compliance of wearing masks, social distancing, avoiding travel, and having smaller Thanksgiving celebrations will save lives. And officials say the more that people ignore those recommendations, the higher the death toll will be. The numbers we saw Tuesday are stunning. 2,800 COVID deaths in Colorado so far, on pace for 6,600 by the end of the year, with a worst-case scenario of 7,400. That
to accept that more to accept that more people could die from the COVID-19 virus over the next month than have died. To accept that more people could die from the COVID-19 virus over the next month than have died during the entire pandemic so far. But the state's pandemic expert confirmed that earlier today during the governor's news conference in Denver. That briefing covering a wide range of COVID-related topics. KRDO News Channel 13 Scott Harrison is live in Colorado Springs tonight to break it all down for us. Scott?
Well, Lauren and Heather, we learned from today's briefing that only widespread compliance of wearing masks, social distancing, avoiding travel, and having smaller Thanksgiving celebrations will save lives. And officials say the more that people ignore those recommendations, the higher the death toll will be. The numbers we saw Tuesday are stunning. 2,800 COVID deaths in Colorado so far, on pace for 6,600 by the end of the year, with a worst-case scenario of 7,400. That, unfortunately, is where we are in this pandemic, and how bad it ends up will be determined largely by us and what we do or don't do this holiday weekend.
So it will be, weeks until we see those deaths unfortunately accumulate in the state. But again, I think it reinforces our message that
situation. Few places seem safe right now, but the governor says evidence shows that schools are safe. And a newly formed task force meets Wednesday to consider how to phase out remote learning.
But we are going to be more hands-on, going to be more teachers on
Polis also talked about the state's struggling restaurant industry and how some owners have closed rather than endure 10% capacity limits. The governor has sympathy for them, but not for those who threaten to ignore health orders.
Restaurants can temporarily lose their license, because it's really important that we keep consumer confidence in places being safe. And we don't want a few bad actors undermining that.
But Polis also reminded us hope is on the horizon, with Colorado participating in a test to deliver a COVID vaccine just a few weeks before actual delivery begins. And we have added a link to the governor's entire briefing today. That's on our web story right now. You'll find it at krdo.com. Let's hope those predictions don't come true. We are live in Colorado Springs. Scott Harrison, KRDO News Channel 13. And we have added a link to the governor's entire briefing